All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Time for NXT. Apologize for being a minute or two late. It took just a little bit of extra time to get things going in the Mark by Wrestling household, but here we are, ready to rock and roll, ready for some NXT, ready to get a little bit of extra information before Great American Bash, more before Evolution. So, anyway, looks like we've got Ethan Page and the Vanity Project already in the ring, which means the Vanity Project. The Gauntlet match is starting off the show. Ricky Saints, if he wins this match, he will pick the stipulation for his rematch with Ethan Page for the North American title, which I just have to assume is going to be taking place at Great American Bash. I don't know if we've gotten an official graphic for that yet because we're probably waiting to see the outcome of this match. Justin, how are you, man? Good to see you. George, good to see you. Sophie, glad you are here. Did I miss anyone? Just you guys so far. All right. We'll come piling in all together. We always do, right? George, you won't be able to watch NXT, but I'm here. I'm going to watch the replay next week. Awesome. George, also the CW and WWE is very good about uploading individual matches from the broadcast, within 24 to 48 hours on YouTube as well. So you could check it there if you don't want to wait a whole week. But you do you, man. Just letting you know that it's there. All right, Ricky Saints is going Miyagi on the Cobra Kai here. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the Vanity Project. I have not learned their names yet. So I'm just feeling like calling them, Parker Lewis, Teddy Beckerstead, Johnny Lawrence, whatever, we're going to call these guys out. Okay, sounds good, George. You check that out later. So, yeah, we have a busy week. We had Raw last night. We have NXT tonight. A&B will be back on Friday for SmackDown. I'm probably going to – I don't know if I'm going to go live yet on SmackDown either, but I'm going to give my predictions for the entire weekend on Thursday. So on Thursday – I'm going to give you guys predictions for Great American Bash, for Saturday night's main event, and for Evolution. So, sorry, everybody. Join me on Thursday for that. I can't envision Ricky Saints not winning this gauntlet because, back in the day, somebody gauntlet match on Raw or SmackDown against Raw or SmackDown talent. But Ricky Saints, a former NXT North American champion, taking on three guys from Evolve. It's absolutely within reason for him to run the table on this gauntlet match. Okay, so the two guys with swipe right, and then Jackson Drake, the Evolve champion. There's also, I didn't catch this before, but there is a contract signing at the Great American Bash between Santana, Joe Hendry, and Trick Williams. So that's how they're figuring them into the show. There's not going to be an actual match, but as you know, with pro wrestling contract signings, there's always going to be hands thrown, probably. Ricky with that tornado DDT, so clean, man. And he stacks him up, and one man down. Anthony, proceed with caution. Welcome. I would expect. All right, we have swipe right number 2 coming in here, and I don't imagine. Ooh, big kick in the corner though. Now, I'm curious. Should Ricky win this match, what stipulation he'll pick? Anthony, good to see you, man. Glad you're here. So currently our opening bout tonight is the Gauntlet match. It is a busy week for wrestling, but, man, we love it. There's so much to watch here. Dude, Jackson Drake, the Evolve champion, he's probably in good shape, and I'm sure they see something in him, but right now he's still kind of looks like a high schooler. And I know I make my 80s villain jokes about the Vanity Project and Swipe Right and all these guys, but woo, they looking young. They're young out here. Anyway, at commercial break, Yes, Hank and Tank defending the titles tonight against Sean Spears and Nico Vance from the Culling. And so we'll see where that comes. Ava is supposed to announce the competitors for the Battle Royal for Evolution tonight. So we'll have that as well. Also, Mike Santana and Joe Hendry are going to be taking on High Ryze, I believe, tonight. So there's that as well. So there's really not a lot of women's wrestling that has been announced for the show tonight, but I'm sure we'll see it. Obviously, we have learned now that Zaruka is going to be challenging for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. And also, so Sol Ruka is going to have every wrestling contract. There's always someone going through a table. 100, Justin. 100%. Now, Sol Ruka will be doing double duty this weekend. Oh gosh, what's her name? Both Jordan Grace and JC Jane doing double duty this weekend as well. And who knows if any other ladies are wrestling. Oh, are they trying to win by a count out? Sorry. We're still in commercial, but Ricky Saints trying to chase the Vanity Project guy back in the ring after giving him a suplex to the outside. And Jackson Drake comes in and throws him into the barricade to try to get him counted out behind the ref's back, of course. Now, I'll be interested to see how many women end up doing double duty from NXT. We've already got I'm imagining Zarya might be in the Battle Royal as well, so that would be double duty for her as well. So we'll see what happens. I think it is a safe pick to pick Jordan Grace to win the title this weekend because JC Jane just is, I kind of love that they have made it into a gimmick for her as like being agitated that people are calling her the most beatable NXT Women's Champion because that is true, even without taking anything away from her. And then this dude from Swipe Right is wrestling with a gold chain necklace on, which he's going to regret, I'm afraid. Sorry, guys. It's been a long day in the Marked by Wrestling house. Everything's great, but just low on energy. Hence the remainder of coffee I've got going on here. Yeah. So we'll see what we have. In terms of Jordan, by the way, talking about Jordan being a potential women's champion, beating JC Jane this weekend. I said I think it's a safe bet, but also I do think we'll have to pay attention to what happens in that tag match at Great American Bash and see if that informs any advantages that Jordan or JC might have in that match. Because at the end of the day, man, big slam coming off the ropes from Ricky Saints. Clothesline knocks down Vanity Boy. And I don't know what that move was. I think they were going for an overhead belly to belly, but Vanity Project dude just pretty much flipped over Ricky, and Ricky half sold it instead of doing an actual move. But it is what it is. That's part of what makes NXT what it is, man. Some stuff is just some of the best stuff you've ever seen, and some stuff are watching dudes learn on the fly in the ring. So, you played 2K a little bit today, Sophie. What mode were you playing in? Tell me. Oh, Vanity tried to go. Okay, we're getting multiple reversals here. Tried to go for a Randy Orton DDT. Reversed into a roll-up. Kick out at 2. Atomic drop into a jackknife pin. And Ricky Saints wins with an atomic drop. Oh, the timer in story mode. Oh, that drove me crazy in the there was one that was a women's Money in the Bank match where you had a timer to do some things, and that drove me bananas. But in general, I like it. All right, so Ricky Saints is down to match number 3 in this gauntlet match against Jackson Drake, the Evolved Champion. You know what's interesting to me is that Ricky Saints is not the biggest man, and that's okay. That's not a criticism. but he even makes Jackson Drake look kind of skinny, you know? Dude, oh, big chops coming out the corner from Ricky Saints. Loud ones. And kicking to the back from Jackson Drake. There's an Evolution Summit tonight. I suppose that's what Ava's referring to. Yeah, the timer stuff is tough. Man, Karrion Kross, Providence was so there for Karrion Kross last night, which is wild. I love to see it. I don't love to see it at the expense of Sami Zayn. I hope that he gets more more shine, like you said, George. Oh man, like basement drop kick right into the knees of Ricky Saints from Jackson Drake. Jackson Drake doing a lot of Daniel Bryan, Adam Cole-ish kind of kicks with kick pads. A sort of go to sleep into onto the knees. Not like a gut buster onto the knees. Yeah, I'm glad they don't give you a timer with every match. That would really take the fun out of the game. I mean, one of the things I love about 2K so much is just being able to play at your own pace and kind of book your own match, you know? There are competing Let's Go Jackson, Let's Go Ricky chants in the NXT arena. I got to say this. Ricky is he cleaned house on the first two guys. They're having a much more back and forth match with him and Jackson Drake. It's really trying to give Jackson some time to shine here. Step up enziguri from Jackson. Jackson Drake has a very unique presentation to me. Like, he's very kind of bouncy in the way that he sells and the way that he rebounds when he takes bumps and stuff. It's interesting. What's interesting is I see on super kick from Jackson Drake, he's going up to the top now. It looks like on the back of his trunks, swanton that eats the knees and a clothesline, and he sells it like Dolph Ziggler. My goodness. Here he comes, Rochambeau. This is going to do it. Ricky's got it in hand now. 1, 2, that's that. All right. Ricky Saints wins, and he will pick the stipulation against Ethan Page against Great American Bash at Great American Bash. Anyway, I think Jackson Drake's nickname is the Carolina Reaper, which is the name of a really hot pepper, if you're unfamiliar with hot, spicy foods. But like his trunks has the logo of North Carolina on the back with like double, Grim Reaper scythes on it. And I was like, I heard Corey Graves mentioning the phrase Carolina Reaper. But anyway, and I wouldn't call it a full-on wardrobe malfunction, but it became clear that it looks like Jackson Drake is a fan of Cisco underneath his trunks. Nevertheless. Teflon Don, welcome, Mod Father. Here we go. Here's the announcement. Ricky Saints says he's going to dog walk him. Is that a foreshadowing? Okay, falls count anywhere. I thought when he said he was going to dog walk him in Atlanta, he was going to challenge him to a dog collar match. But, maybe he didn't think about that. But okay, North American title, falls count anywhere. Ricky Saints and Ethan Page for the North American title, added to Great American Bash. All right, Zarya is hyped up with Soul. She's hyped up with the tag title match. Laney Reed just shows up and starts offering unsolicited advice. And Kalani and Lola Vice are now talking trash to Laney on behalf of Soul. Did Kalani turn babyface out of nowhere? I guess we're getting Kalani Jordan and Laney Reed tonight, which I think has a lot of potential. Also, Charlie Dempsey and Tavion Heights tonight. And if Tavion Heights wins, he gets to leave No Quarter Catch Crew, which will just leave Charlie Dempsey and Ren Sinclair in the group, as Miles Bourne has already successfully made his exit from the faction. Shamanika, good evening. Good to see you. Picking the Kabuki Warriors in that match. Okay. That's right. Mello and Kalani got engaged. Forgot about that. Yeah, man. Ricky takes down Cobra Kai. You know, he's the best around. Nothing's ever going to bring him down. And we got an ad for the weekend of Saturday night's main event and Evolution. Yeah, so Justin Jackson Drake, I think he's got a lot of potential. I think he was a great example in this match. Dawsey, good to see you, friend. I'm glad you're here. He looked like a guy that would be an Evolve. And I don't mean that as an insult. Like, I think he's shown well. He got the time to work with Ricky Saints here in NXT tonight. And now he didn't quite capture my attention, let's say the way Jasper Troy did with Obafemi. Or, I mean, maybe close to Laney Reed, how Laney Reed did when she debuted on NXT. I think Laney is probably got a little more shine in the ring than Jackson Drake does right now, but it looks like he's got it absolutely looks like he's got the momentum and he's headed in the right direction. So, you know, I think it was kind of like, you know, it's like when you get to see like the JV junior varsity play before a game, you know, you're like, okay, that dude's going to be somebody, you know, he needs a little more work, but he's going to be good. So yeah, that's kind of how I felt with Jackson Drake. I don't have anything to criticize him about that can't be explained by the fact that he's still in developmental. Does that make sense? Like, he ain't wrestling like Randy Orton or Seth Rollins or whatever at this point because he doesn't have that time put in yet. But for the amount of time he's probably put in and the amount of time he's been in the Evolve system, yeah, I mean, I think he's just fine. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Laney's music, but also I'm not a huge fan of Laney. Like, if she's a heel, this is a deep cut, but that's the kind of country music maybe you need to have, because a lot of people who pride themselves as country music fans don't really like that sort of drum machine banjo music, that sort of Florida Georgia Line type stuff, that Morgan Wallen type stuff. So I think that's just fine for Laney Reed. I don't like the music either because I don't like that kind of country music. But anyway, she's got this sort of Southern, this kind of Fallon Henley-ish sort of group, not group, but you know, motif with her presentation. Anthony, man, I wouldn't be surprised if JC pulls off the win because of all the hype, because of all the story being sort of front loaded into how beatable she is. Like, you know, I mean, we just had Gunther a couple of years ago break that Intercontinental title reign, and he broke the Honky Tonk Man's reign. And the Honky Tonk Man was the definition of a beatable champion, and he held the record because that's how they booked him. You know, like cheating his way out of victories, a lot of losses by DQ or count out, you know, stuff like that. And he held the belt for a long time that way. And JC Jane, you know, when everyone is aware that the female talent in NXT is so high, and JC Jane is not untalented, but, you know, you could make the argument that she doesn't stack up to some of this hyped female performers in NXT. It is some sort of counterintuitive reverse psychology kind of booking to keep her with the belt because no one will predict it. Laney did defeat Thea via heel tactics, if I remember correctly. And now she's got Kalani Jordan, the Mrs. Him, on her way. Okay, so we should be back here any second now. I did read that Tony Khan said he basically was just going to pay attention to AEW and not really pay much attention to what WWE is doing in terms of programming and counter programming, which I think is the best answer you can give in those situations and the smartest approach. Focus on your own product, make your own product unmissable, make your own product must-see TV, and the viewers will come. Earlier today, Jordan Grace was working out, apparently. She got the curly hair tonight. Oh, and here's Blake Monroe. Jordan has a pretty saucy picture of Blake as her caller ID. Oh my gosh. So Blake has invited Jordan Grace to a glamour workout. The Glaminauts. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is almost a recreation. I don't know if you guys remember Ariana Grace and Gigi Dolan pairing up for a little while before Gigi Dolan got injured, but she was taking her and trying to glamorize her, and make her into a princess. But then they just trashed the whole storyline because Gigi got injured. I feel like we are going to be headed for that tonight. And I don't hate it. Tavion Heights still wearing the mask from a couple of weeks ago. And Charlie Dempsey and Tavion Heights entering together for this match, even though they're against each other. Ren Sinclair is playing this very interestingly because she's, like holding up the no quarter catch crew, like, hand signals. Neither of the boys are doing it though, So, yeah. All right. Well, while we have these entrances going, our mod father is here with our question of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, give your answers in the chat. Which entrance would you have? Roman's entrance with the Max aura, Batista's entrance with all the pyro, or Bobby Roode's entrance, glorious entrance with the choir? Roman, Batista, or Bobby Roode? Let's hear those answers in the chat. I got to think that one over, mod father. I think I might go Batista, mod father. I think I might go Batista because there's something about that song. Yeah, like all that, and just with the machine gun, pyro, and all that stuff. Yeah, clock it. I'm going Batista. Although those are three wonderful choices, and I'd be over the moon to have any of the three of them. But I'm going to go Batista on that one. Man, big drop kick from Tavion Heights. Charlie Dempsey almost goes over the top, but falls down, spills out of the ring. Tavion Heights still wrestling with that face mask on. I guess he's still, I can't remember, was it a broken nose or something like that? Teflon Don says the Max aura over 9,000. Yeah. Sophie, I thought about Bobby Roode. I mean, I was into that entrance for a while, but also Bobby Roode's like presentation is so good, but I would argue that the energy is a little low in that one. So that's why I didn't go with that one. George says, smash that like button. Give this stream a thumbs up. Please do. We need every like we can get around here. More visibility, more hours, memberships, and super chats on the way. So please do give us a like. Subscribe if you're just here visiting. We're going to have some more content this week. We're going to do predictions, live watch-alongs of all our big shows. And also, I think I've got some 2K playing coming up sometime soon this week as well. Yeah, we're almost at 10K subscribers, which is unbelievable considering the channel's only been around for about 6 months or so. So, like, if we can keep going, I would absolutely adore it. I would love it. 7 months, sorry. But, yeah, please be it. All right. Well, Tavion loses the mask. Charlie takes the mask off him, and now Tavion's doing that thing. You remember when Matt Riddle used to get really like angry in NXT and would just turn into a monster? Tavion's getting hyped up now. And Charlie Dempsey has bailed to the ring. I don't know, some kind of double KO spot out here, and they both fall down. I think Tavion went for a right hand and Charlie headbutted him, and I think they just connected at the same time. So we're here on commercial. Great question there, Modfather. Thank you so much for bringing that to the chat tonight. Now, so we still have tag team title match on the menu tonight, and we already opened up the show with Ricky Saints running the gauntlet against the Vanity Project, and he has now selected a Falls Count Anywhere match for Great American Bash against Ethan Page in the for the North American title. So we're going to add that match to our card, and we'll be predicting that on Thursday, along with all the matches for Saturday night's main event and all the matches as well for Evolution on Sunday. Tavion Heights and Braun Breaker would be nasty, especially Tavion needs a little bit more time before he gets in the ring with Braun's, but they could throw each other around for sure. Yeah, it's quite a bit insane that that my sub counts shot up. Going on for WrestleMania and stuff really helped out a lot and all that stuff. My George asks, what will be your favorite match for Great American Bash? That is a great question. I tell you what, I am looking forward, obviously, to Obafemi and Inamura. I think that is going to be the show stealer. I think sorry, I saw Gunther's name in the chat and misspoke. I think Obafemi's title reign has had so many good matchups, and I think this one won't disappoint. I'm also looking forward to the North American title match now that we know the stipulation. You know what, low key, I'm also looking forward to Sol Ruka and Izzy Dame, to be honest. I want to see where the story is going in that match, because you got a feeling that Zaruka and Tatum Paxley are probably both going to be involved in that match somehow. And so I'm curious to see what happens there. Thank you so much, George, for that chat. And we're still on commercial now. Oba versus Gunther at some point. That's going to be, oh man, that's going to be so hard hitting. They'll get there at some point. I would even love just to see them square off for a couple of minutes in the Rumble next year. Just give us a little bit of a preview, see how the crowd is for them. Man, it is. Yeah, it's a heavy wrestling weekend for sure. And so I hope all the people who are choosing to watch All In, I hope that show is booked well and it's paid off, and those people are happy for that show as well. I know there's a lot of big time matches going on there as well. And then I think Evolution could absolutely over deliver and surprise as well. Think Stephanie Vaquer is going to win the Battle Royal. I mean, she's a good bet, right? I'll say this. We don't know who all the competitors are yet, but I would rather not Nikki Bella win that Battle Royal. I'll say that. Man, a side slam, slingshots and reverses into like a face buster for Tavion Heights onto Charlie Dempsey. Pretty wild. Headlock takeovers by Tavion. And now a good clean over the head, belly to belly. Oh, goodness gracious. Tavion catches a leg from Charlie Dempsey and just tackles him through the ropes, and they go spilling to the outside. Stephanie Vacay. Vacay. I would love for Stephanie to toss her out, man. Oh, man. They might have Nikki win. It's possible. However, oh, gosh. Oh, Tavion slips like Charlie Dempsey hits the stairs, and Tavion's leg gets trapped between the steps and the ring, and now Charlie taking advantage. Bad form, old man. And Tavion's leg is wrecked. Ren Sinclair chastising him at ringside, but he's completely ignoring her. And now Charlie has got that bad leg into like a knee, not really a knee bar. It's like a single leg crab. And he is just leaning back on it. Tavion's pretty far from the ropes. He's pretty much right in the middle of the ring, but he's gaining. He's gaining towards the ropes. Can he get to the ropes? Oh, no. Charlie's about to drag him in the middle of the ring again and then stomps on that leg again. Tavion is selling so good right now. It was so weird. I don't know that Charlie wants Tavion in NQCC, but he doesn't want to let anybody leave. He just wants to maintain that control, maintain that power. I do kind of like Tavion's gear. It's made up like almost old Greek and Roman pottery with like hieroglyphic drawings of old wrestling on his gear. It's pretty cool. Man, Dempsey is just stretching him. But Tavion will not. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Ren's going to throw in the towel. Oh, my gosh. Ren just threw in the towel for which I didn't even know was an option for this match. But Ren Sinclair couldn't stand to see Tavion's leg get injured anymore. And she throws in the towel, and Charlie Dempsey wins by forfeit. But she's still kind of in Charlie's face about it. Caring for Tavion. She's clearly upset over Tavion. Huh. Didn't expect that. All right, Hank and Tank are cutting a promo. Looks like Lexus King is hovering around in the background. Well, here comes Javon Evans to say hey to Hank and Tank. Oh my gosh, Javon was talking his junk, and then Jasper Troy came out of nowhere and just bodied Javon right in front of Hank and Tank. He just got bodied so bad. We might get It's just that Javon was so confident about getting his lick back on Jasper Troy that he just got splattered up against the garage door. Nevertheless, if we get Javon and Jasper for Great American Bash 2, that would be wild. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay. It is tag team time. On loan from TNA, Mike Santana and Joe Hendry will be taking on Wes Lee's boys, High Ryze. Drop your predictions in the chat. I feel like our TNA guys are going to take this one, but we'll see what happens. Born Nasty, Mike Santana. Here comes the Joe Hendry entrance. Let's see if he's still as over with the crowd. Call me crazy. Oh, Lexus. I don't know what Lexus King was doing in the background. He was kind of checking the doors and stuff. It was very weird. But call me crazy. I feel like Joe Hendry, his popularity is starting to wane a little bit, at least in NXT. I don't know how over he is in TNA right now because I don't watch Impact. But crowd still loves him, but it's a big difference from his early entrances in NXT. Definitely the Mania pop that he got with Randy Orton. That was so much of that was shock, though, too. But yeah, I mean, he's still over with the crowd. Everybody's waving their hands from side to side. But there was just, there's just that pop as soon as you hear the song. And it's just not what it used to be. So Slammiversary is July 20th. And that's when the triple threat match will happen between Santana, Hendry, and Trick Williams, which we will get a contract signing at Great American Bash 4. High Ryze out here strutting like they're wearing bodysuits or something. Now listen, these dudes are massive. They are for real, huge, but we'll see what comes. Wesley also here at ringside with accompanying High Ryze. All right. I want to be a fan of High Ryze because they've got a good look, but also they're not so much their gimmick, but their gear. Their gear is very Crime Time to me. They both look like Shad. May he rest in peace. A true, real hero, Shad Gaspard. But yeah, I don't need that gear look repeated. Also, performers who wear gear kind of like High Ryze wears, you have to mix it up a little bit. I think because when you have gear, say like Joe Hendry, you can afford to wear the same color of everything every week. But if you're just black pants and a belt, maybe, I don't know, mix it up a little bit. I'm not saying they never do. There is something just a little generic about their presentation. But again, they look like they can crush people. Oh, I say that, and Joe Hendry just lifts one up and fall away slams him like he's nothing. All right. Well, Santana and Hendry have a tense but agreeable chemistry with each other for this tag match tonight. So far, they're in control. It is a catchy song, the Hendry music, and yeah, I mean, I feel like the idea to put Wesley with High Ryze is somehow to give them some like creative direction, maybe, but I don't see that direction happening. You know what I mean? I don't think Wesley needs to be with anybody. I think he could be on his own and be fine. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Trick tonight, or First Class, or any of those guys, to try and interfere. Hendry trying to lift him up for a suplex, not quite getting there. Anthony, I'm not sure if you're being sincere or facetious here, saying Joe can't wrestle. I don't think Joe's a bad wrestler at all. I mean, he's a little bit of a John Cena kind of wrestler to me. Like he can do moves, but I don't know that he's got that that sort of adaptable, deep waters, extensive. I hate to use the word moveset, but moveset like some other wrestlers do. I think he does the things he does and he does them fine. But yeah, I think he might be a little bit more presentation than he is substance. And some wrestlers have made quite a lucrative career from doing so. Okay, I got you. If they decide to put the NXT Championship on Inamura, how would I feel about that? Woo! Well, I tell you what, that happening would probably get me on some of these reaction channels because I would lose my mind about it. But to be honest, long term, I just don't know that Inamura is the right guy to be the champion for NXT. I think he will make. I saw him kind of similarly to how I saw Miles Bourne a month or two ago, like hot moments, getting over, and putting him in the title match is the right thing, and make him make a good showing. You know what? Actually, I wouldn't mind if Inamura was like a transitional champion, like what we want JC Jane to be. Like you could give him the moment to be champion, and have him do a couple title defenses on TV maybe, and then after say after one PLE or so, you could move it over to, and that's assuming we're moving on from Obafemi. If Obafemi was still staying in NXT, I'd say just put it back on Obafemi in a rematch. But I would instead assume Obafemi would be moving on. Put it on somebody we've been waiting to see be champion for a minute, and I honestly, Javon Evans, I think isn't a bad thing. Yeah, I think Inamura could be a Jey Uso type of champion. Yeah, I don't have a problem with title reigns like that with the right kind of people. And Inamura could be that kind of person. Oh, who knows how A&B would react to Oba losing? Oba is going to have to lose the title at some point because they can't just take the Stephanie Vaquer, Asuka approach to just relinquishing titles because someone's too awesome. Oba needs to, and also Oba needs to lose that title eventually because whoever he loses to is going to be the guy that beat Obafemi. And that's what so you want to give that to somebody. Oh, Maxine and Natalia are in the house. I guess they're going to be, because they'll be in the Battle Royal. I forgot they announced that last night. Front guillotine onto Joe Hendry, who's slumping down now. But Joe's fighting back. So Kevin Owens made a debut on the main roster while he was champion, but I think that's the exception and not the norm. So I think, I mean, you want to make it an important moment when Oba actually loses the title. And it's going to have to be somebody of some substance too, because, he dominated the North American title and ended up losing to Tony D'Angelo, who had the whole family with him at that point as well. So I don't want it to be Jasper Troy right away, but it's going to have to be somebody who's doing some nasty work. So we'll see what happens. But there are ways to get titles off of dominant men and women. So, Oba and Trick have been ready for a while, but you know what? I know we come back and say that over and over again, but I think I would rather them overstay their welcome in NXT than be rushed up to the main roster and them have nothing to do for them. So I hope they've got somebody figuring that out. Big jump off the top from Joe Hendry, clearing out one member of High Ryze. And Mike Santana reverses a full Nelson suplex into an arm drag. And then slam, like a back suplex slam. Mike is going up top. Wes Lee coming to interfere. Trick Williams is here. And he's already thrown Joe Hendry into the steps. And that's enough to distract Santana. Now Santana, but he misses. He dodges High Ryze, and the discus clothesline is enough to put down High Ryze. Santana shakes off the interference from Trick Williams and from Wes Lee. And now Joe Hendry is throwing hands on Trick Williams in the ring, but Wes Lee interferes. And now High Ryze ganging up on Joe Hendry. Wes Lee putting the boots, putting the Nikes to Mike Santana. Now, this is more of a faction I'd like to see, is Trick Williams with High Ryze than Trick Williams with AJ Francis and the first class guy. Trick shot drops Joe Hendry where he stands. But we all know wrestling math, do we not? It may be a time for Trick to drop the title. We'll see what happens. Crowd's still singing along. Whoop that Trick, though. Who cares if he's a bad guy? If the song is catchy, we're going to keep singing, because that's what we do in wrestling in 2025. All right, so we've got the promo package from last week of Inamura taking on Jasper Troy. What a great match that was. And we're going to have Inamura, who conquered Jasper Troy last week, take on Obafemi at Great American Bash, which is going to be probably my favorite match of the night. I love both those guys. It's just going to be two hard-hitting guys going after each other. And, Oba's probably going to win, but almost doesn't matter. Great Muta! Hey! He was my first favorite Japanese wrestler, by the way. First guy I ever saw do a moonsault. Marufuji, they're getting all these Japanese wrestlers to send these heartwarming messages to Inamura. Guys from Pro Wrestling Noah, which is where Inamura is from. Oh my gosh, EO too. Well, this is unexpectedly heartwarming. I still don't believe he's going to win, but what a great investment into this story to bring out different. Hello, speaking of bringing out the top stars.
Hi.
This is Mark by Wrestling here, ladies and gentlemen, for NXT. Now, NXT is not her most viewed show, so this is going to be educational.
Right.
So we're going to do that. And now's a great time to get started because we have a commercial break and a puppy down here who wants attention. So everybody from Pro Wrestling Noah, including the Great Muda, including Io Sky, all sending their messages of encouragement to Inamura for Great American Bash, which is really, really cool. Everybody saying hi.
Hi.
So yeah, lots and lots of fun. Great Muda was the first Japanese wrestler I saw. He came to NWA before it was WCW. He feuded with Sting for a little while. First guy I ever saw do a moonsault off the top rope. First guy I ever saw spray mist either, which is always a lot of fun. It's an old Japanese wrestler trope of spitting mist into their opponents' faces. So,
not like Triple H.
No, not like spitting water. It's different colors, usually. Now, I don't actually know all this, but in Japanese wrestling, which they never translate this to American wrestling when they come over and visit, is there's different colors of mist. And according to like wrestling lore in Japan, different colors of mist would do different things to you.
Okay.
So like one type of mist would blind you.
Gotcha.
One was like toxic.
Okay.
I even think one might have been like mind control or something like that.
Sure, why not?
I mean, why not, right? So I may not be wrong. I may be wrong about that, but
and you may not be wrong.
And I might not be wrong. I do know one of them is blinding for sure.
Okay.
I know that for a fact. But okay. It is time. Teflon Don's got another question for us this evening. Which faction entrance would you rather be a part of? So this is not necessarily what faction you want to be a part of, but what entrance. So first is Evolution, which I don't know if you need a reminder. That was Ric Flair, Triple H, Randy Orton, and Batista. Four Horsemen-ish, very like wearing suits and,
Sure.
We're rich and we get a lot of women kind of stuff.
Okay.
The Brood, which was Edge, Christian, and Gangrel, which might be kind of up your alley right now because they were a vampire group. And in terms of production, the most visually entertaining entrance of the three.
Yeah.
Because they came up through an elevator in the ground, and they made a ring of fire around the elevator door. So like the floor would catch on fire, and all of a sudden they would just start to rise up out of it. And it was pretty visually impressive back in the day.
Sounds like it.
And then the Nation of Domination, which is a black excellence group in the mid '90s, where The Rock started. A lot of Kenta cloth, a lot of this going on stuff. I got to admit, I'd probably stand out like Owen Hart did if I was in the Nation of Domination. So it might not be the group for me. Too much beard hair, probably for all the fire, maybe for the Brood. So I'm going to pick Evolution just because their style of faction is probably the most appealing to me of the three anyways. They were also just like we're the excellent wrestlers, we're going to hold all the belts kind of group too. So that's what I always go for. The Hardys did kind of start off as the Brood, or they swapped. They were like the new Brood or something. That didn't last very long. But
that sounds fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm for coming in with fire. That sounds exciting.
Okay, let's go. George asked, what is your favorite WrestleMania entrance? My favorite ever WrestleMania entrance.
I mean, it's probably not favorite ever. Never mind. Don't listen to me. Let me think on what.
Okay.
Never mind.
I honestly think because they really didn't start making much of WrestleMania entrances till Shawn Michaels rode the zip line in like 1996, which now looks like nothing compared to some of the stuff they do now. But I got to say the one that I think I had such a great reaction to that also had elements of production to it. It wasn't really expensive, I don't think, but Bianca Belair had the HBCU band player in.
Loved that.
When that was at 38, I think, because 39 was when she had the Compton dancers with her,
which was also great.
Which was also great.
But the band was.
The band was great. Now I will give credit where's credit's due. I went to WrestleMania 24 in Orlando, and John Cena had an HBCU band play his song in 2008 before people.
Not as cool as
it wasn't.
Bianca Belair.
It wasn't as
okay.
cool, and it's not because I'm a John Cena hater either.
Right.
But like she took an entrance that had been conceived before and improved upon it.
Sure.
It was far better. So that was probably my favorite one.
I was thinking about when was it this last one where they had like all the different was it Roman Reigns when they had all the different and his like history?
Yeah.
Like,
all the Samoan wrestlers on those different like sort of cards like hanging from the entrance as he was walking by them. That was so good.
It obviously not as much like action and excitement, but I think just like that build of like how much history there is behind him was like I loved that.
Yeah, that was really cool. And like because a lot of times they take the idea of the bloodline and they talk it up like they just assume everybody knows how important it is. But that was probably the best visual representation. They told everybody, no, there is legitimately a bloodline of Roman's family. Oh, here comes the strut. Here comes the ruler. I saw Inamura was in business casual clothes, so I'm guessing we're just getting a promo or a contract signing tonight. I don't think I've seen Inamura wear a suit ever. Shout out to Justin Hallencrane, though, who said Jushin Thunder Liger was my first Japanese wrestler to see on TV. Dude dressed like a Power Ranger 4 years before the first ever iteration of Power Rangers was on TV. And he wrestled.
Looks like a Black Panther character.
Oh,
with the light shining behind him like that.
Yes. Nice. I always call him the ruler of the Jabari tribe. He reminds me of M'Baku in the best way.
Right, yeah.
But Jushin Thunder Liger wrestled Lexus King's dad, Flying Brian Pillman, a few times in the early 90s on WCW TV, and it was always amazing. Always. They tagged together at one Starrcade, too, which was really cool. Undertaker entrances are great too, Justin. Okay. Oba's like, all right, just say it. Okay. Make him. Did you hear something?
Yeah, I was like, what was that sound?
Yeah. It's just a production error, I guess.
Maybe. The guy in the background, like
his tag partner, yeah. He's like, yeah, there we go.
No. In the audience, he was like,
so maybe the ones left to pick up the pieces when it beats you. Because you talk about honor, fighting for honor. Well, this Saturday, why don't you ask yourself, can you lose honor? Because when it's all said and done, my friend, the truth will prevail. You are not bold enough to take this title from me.
Oh, Briggs wants to say something now. It's a guy with a boo that guy sign. You know what? Get you a friend like Briggs, though. Everybody deserves a friend like Josh Briggs. At least today. I say that and watch him turn heel or something, but like, oh, closed captioning really fumbled on that one.
I am not a man. I am a man of faith, and I promise I will do every single thing in my power to make sure
I sleep on how tall Briggs is.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of guys bigger than Obafemi in NXT, but he's one of them. Oh. Oh. Inamura tried to be peacemaker and caught a hand to the face from Obafemi as a result, but he gonna get his lick back.
Oh my gosh. Not in the suit and everything.
He didn't seem to enjoy it, but he did what he must. Let them fight, Chance. That ain't gonna happen. Oh, and Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace are tag teaming at the Great American Bash. We have a muscle and a glamorous, and one is going to treat the other to a makeover tonight.
Great.
Yeah. She just got here from the other company, AEW. And she started off in TNA, the company they're partnering with, but she was doing so well there when they made the partnership. Her contract expired. They let her out, and WWE was just like, hey, come be with us.
Gotcha. This music.
Yes, right. Word on the street is they're doing a Sabrina Carpenter-ish thing with her, which shows how old I am because I thought they were doing like an I Dream of Jeannie thing.
I mean, I'll sign up for this.
Hey, I mean, you know. You're like a rescue dog in a Dior store. This is
I mean, I feel like this could have just been like an online short, not like needed in the middle of the show.
But. Yeah, I agree.
Think of your self-esteem as something you left. You have to. You want to be champ. You got to get that title of chasing chain.
Okay.
I've been chasing the NXT Women's Championship for a while.
So she spoke to her confidence, her self-confidence, which I appreciate them revisiting because she had this kind of awkward promo a week or two ago where she felt like she felt like she didn't believe like she belonged in NXT and all this other stuff.
Okay, I can remember hearing you talk about that.
Yeah, and at the time it felt really out of place, but now taking it here, at least they're doing something with it.
Yeah. The girly one,
Blake.
Is she South African?
She's British.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe she's British. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Mariah, you know, what are British. Anyway. Kalani Jordan, who just got engaged recently. Congratulations, Kalani. I don't know if you remember Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown. She's engaged to him.
Aww.
So they're getting married.
Wait, did they get engaged in ring? Or who was that?
No.
Who got engaged in ring?
John Cena and Nikki Bella years ago.
I'm going to Google it.
All right, Google it. British. All right, thank you, George, for confirming. A couple of takeaways from that segment, though. Blake Monroe speaking to the insecurities of Jordan Grace, saying, you know, doing this my way will give you some confidence and help you, you know, believe that you belong, which is, you know what, that's not nothing considering the promo that Jordan cut a couple of weeks ago. And then on top of that, also notice Blake said, we have to get that title off JC one way or another. I'm not gonna put on the glasses because I don't believe this is truly a fantasy booking situation, but I'm curious how desperate Blake Monroe is to make sure that comes to fruition if she could end up inadvertently costing Jordan Grace on Sunday in trying to help. I wonder. I have a feeling we'll see Blake Monroe at Evolution involved in that match. I mean, she's a baby face. I mean, her and Jordan are both faces. I saw a little bit of chatter rumoring about Blake Monroe turning heel. I just don't. That seems to be some people's answer for everything. Like somebody just shows up, ooh, turn him heel. Like it just needs to make sense. Now, I will say this. If Jordan wins the title, I don't think it would be a bad move to turn Blake heel then. So that way Jordan has a high profile challenger to go up against. But there's plenty of people Jordan could go up against as champion that she's either already faced before she wins the belt or people she hasn't really faced at all. And I don't know how much of in a hurry they are to bring Jordan up to the main roster since they just brought Julia and Roxy and Stephanie Vaquer all up within the past few months since WrestleMania, basically. So, I mean, I would be all for Jordan winning the NXT Women's title on Sunday and keeping it. I mean, what month are we in? July? I wouldn't mind her keeping it through the end of the year, to be honest. I mean, and maybe towards the end of the year, her and Blake could feud at that point. And yeah, if you want to do a title switch, that's fine. But yeah, I don't see any hurry to take Jordan off of NXT, or Blake for that matter. I do kind of wish NXT would slow down a little bit with bringing in these high profile women when they were on such a good roll of elevating women that were already within their system. Like we still have Sol Ruka, we still have Zarya, we still have Tatum Paxley. Izzy Dame is improving. We still have Lola Vice, we still have Jada Parker, like all these women who started. I know Zarya was wrestling in Japan or something somewhere else, but everyone else kind of just came up through their developmental system. And like, let's not overlook who, you don't go out and get McDonald's when you got food at home. You know what I mean? Like, so, you got some homegrown talent. Don't forget them. Justin, the TNA pay-per-view is at the end of July. I want to say it's the 26th. I don't know if that's correct though. I think it's the 26th that Saturday. Maybe the 27th. I'm not sure. Okay. July 20th. I knew it was 20 something. Thank you, Dossie, for confirming that. Yeah, I think Jada and Lola absolutely belong in the Battle Royal. I mean, I think there's a good handful of NXT women who need to be in that Battle Royal just so they can get that exposure in front of a wider audience, man, because the women of NXT are one of the best women's divisions anywhere in any wrestling promotion. So, yeah.
Okay, I think I know what I'm looking for.
Okay.
But I'm gonna have to get you to help me find it later,
Okay.
and then we'll
talk it out. All right, I like it.
But
Let me
at
give you a
least
little bit of.
saw enough online to make me figure out, I think, what I was thinking.
Okay, so we have Kalani Jordan versus Lainey Reed, she's
like curtsied to the crowd.
Yes, so she's new to NXT. She has wrestled in a developmental group that WWE owns called Evolve. That's like a step below NXT. That they're on Tubi.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and so Lainey, she's like Southern heel.
Okay.
Not quite redneck, more like I listen to Morgan Wallen and Florida Georgia Line country,
okay,
which is automatic heel for me anyways.
Right, boo.
Yeah.
I like the color of Kalani's outfit.
Yeah, you know what? She has got a really good color palette for all her gears.
Yeah.
For what it's worth.
Yeah, like all the women, I think she needs to have on more clothes, but I really like the color of it.
Yeah. Kalani was the first woman to win the North American title on NXT. She's been one of their like D1 athlete signings that they trained up within WWE. So we got the ref who refuses to put her hair in a ponytail ref in this match.
It's not cute.
Well, yeah, listen, you know what? And maybe it's a more attractive look, but it's very functionally disruptive for a referee. It can be.
How's it more disruptive for the ref than it is for the wrestlers? Like, it's ridiculous for the wrestlers to wrestle with their hair down.
You're not wrong.
Nobody would do that. Nobody's showing up to a fight with their hair flopping around.
Yeah, true. Big spine buster by Laney Reed. Zelina Vega is here tonight. A few women from the main roster have been recorded showing up tonight because there's a big battle royal happening at Evolution on Sunday that has women from every show in it. And they said last night on Raw that
so they got to come scope out the competition.
I think so. Yeah. And I think so. Ava, who, by the way, Ava is legit The Rock's daughter.
Right.
I
know. She looks like him. God love her.
Right. She is the general manager here, and she should be. I think she's going to announce like who all the women are that are going to be in the battle royal because they haven't actually formally announced that yet.
Yeah.
So. Okay. Justin, I think this is her third match because she wrestled JC Jane once, and then she had a match last week too. I think this is her third match, but she hasn't had many. Like, she just got here. So I think the first time she was kind of being touted as visiting from Evolve, but I think she's starting to actually like be considered an NXT talent at this point. And yeah, George, I'm sure Zelina is here for the same reason that Maxine and Natalia are here. It probably has something to do with the women's battle royal.
Mm-hmm.
Kalani trying to lift her up into a fire person's carry. Oh, slams down. She's gonna have a hard time hitting that split-legged moonsault with her leg bothering her.
This looks a little sloppy.
Yeah. Oh, kick to the head. You know, it's a real double-edged sword for long hair and wrestling because you know a lot of men, you know, over the years wrestled with long hair too. And sometimes the one reason men or women wrestlers wrestle with their hair down is because when they sell a punch and their hair goes flying back, like it looks more devastating.
Also, you can probably whisper to each other without being noticed.
100%. Yeah. I think that was one of Ric Flair's old tricks too.
Yeah.
Oh, she hit it. Kalani wins. Kalani takes she hit that split-legged moonsault, but she is a ginger on that leg that was being worked on the whole match. Man. And Kalani's athleticism outlasts Laney's attitude. I don't know. Her firepower.
What happened?
Thea Hale is here. She's not done. So she fought her last week.
Okay.
And she cheated to win. Laney did. And so Thea's not done with her. Boom! Headbutt.
She's just over here wearing her street clothes.
Uh-huh. Kalani's like,
She's like, okay, not my problem.
She's like, see, that's why I don't mess with Thea Hale, because she's crazy. Oh. Man, Jasper Troy, this is not the first time he's jumped Javon tonight. And he's not done with him yet. He just keeps going after him. No, Hey, thanks for joining the chat. No, they're one of the best women's rosters because they have some of the best women's wrestlers. The majority are not green, so you're just factually wrong about that. But it's all good. Let's see. The frustration of NXT having focused on moving girls like Fallon. I don't know what that means. Sorry. Yeah, you have to watch NXT with the perspective of knowing it is both elevating talent that's going to be ready for the main roster and developing developmental wrestlers. It's a show that does both. So you're going to see people who are learning and you're going to see people who are ready. And the people who are ready, again, the breadth and depth and the diversity of talent on the show is unmatched with other programs. Every other program, they may have, let's just say like Raw, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley are two of the best women's wrestlers in the world, period. But that's only 2 wrestlers. And now they have a deeper talent pool than that, but I'm just being general for a reason here. And so nevertheless, there are better wrestlers on other shows, but it's not a better division. So anyway, well, you have an opinion, and we're all entitled to correct and incorrect opinions on this channel. So I know what I'm talking about, though. So it's all good. Yeah, not everybody has to be on the main roster. I mean, there's not room for everybody on the main roster. A lot of fans get impatient with people being called up on the main roster, and then they get upset that there's nothing for them to do once they come up to the main roster.
Right.
They said Carmelo Hayes was ready for the main roster, and now they just complain. So it is. No wave riding here, my friend. I've been watching this show for years, so I know what I'm talking about. It's all good. But let's keep the let's keep the generalizations at each other to a minimum, though. I'll do my best, and you do yours. Okay. All right. So we've got a busy weekend this weekend, both WWE and AEW doing a lot of massive shows. So tell me, and I don't know if we asked this specifically on the show earlier, but 4 different shows at least happening this weekend, of all of them, all in Saturday night's main event, Evolution, Great American Bash, the one that they're promoting tonight. Jeez. Which one, holistically as a show, are you most looking forward to? Which one are you making the most, I would say making the most time, but deciding like, hey, this is the show I'm going to watch. It's your most anticipated show. Let me know. I'm still trying to decide between Bash and Evolution. Saturday night's main event, I think, is going to be fun. But one thing about Saturday night's main event that it always has been since like the 80s is like sort of an appetizer for mainstream audiences to see what WWE does. So sometimes maybe you'll get a title change or a big development, but like also there's just tons of commercial breaks because it's on primetime television. Yeah. So it's a little bit of a clunky presentation because of what they're trying to accomplish and what they have to work with being on network TV. So that's why it ducks it down a little bit more, although the matches they've announced definitely have garnered my interest. But I think I'll probably enjoy. I'm holding out hope that Evolution's really going to deliver, since it's going to have matches from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. And so you kind of have that whole assortment of talent on the show. Will be a lot of fun. And yeah, so I'm not George. I know we're all kind of just holding our breath about Goldberg and seeing what happens.
Yeah, and this is nothing to George, but I'm just saying, how many times do wrestling fans say, and then I'm done with WWE?
Yeah, I think the only people worse, self-included, than wrestling fans are maybe NFL fans who threaten to stop watching and never do. Right. But we know who we are, man. It's okay. Yeah. The family. Really?
I thought they broke up.
They did break up. Why are they sitting at the table together? Oh, Rizzo is back. She's been in witness protection or something for the past like 2 months. But all 3 of these guys are basically on their own side right now. She's got those Miss Elizabeth gloves on all the way up to the elbows. It's nice to know that Rizzo's safe house has the CW on TV because she's been watching the show.
Well,
brought to you by Progressive. Yes, Tossie. That's my favorite thing about this thing. This Mafia family meeting brought to you by Progressive. Bundle home, auto, and fire insurance.
To create a safe house.
Yes, create your own safe house with Progressive.
Right.
But you didn't want to do that. No. Chris, you really think that calling us here was going to bring us family back together? I did.
She did.
There's no savings.
She did think this.
So there's one last piece of business.
before I get into it, let me say this. Stacks, every time you hear on the boss, you think you deserve it. Luca, every time you sign a document, you wonder if Tony has your best interest. And even if there was a point to saying all this, Tony, you're always going to wonder if someone's going to stab you in the back. Once trust is broken, doubt creeps in. And it just doesn't work. If I left you guys to this, we'd never see the end. So I did what I had to do.
What did she do?
And I talked to Ava.
She talked to Ava. Triple threat match. Of course. Where is Rickardy? Or was it, who was it? Was it you or who was it before? It says we see 3 guys together. It's going to be a triple threat. That's more wrestling math again.
You know what? I think you guys are setting me up.
Oh my gosh.
No, this is the latest. The rat thinks he's getting sick. It's typical rat behavior. What I actually agree with you. You know what we turned on this thing in the first place? It's fun right now. Just I want to go on my own and do my own thing.
Richie. It was Richie who said it. Thank you, Anthony. Pretty Richie. You see three dudes hanging out in the locker room. It's going to be a triple threat match. It's wrestling math. Rizzo just said she went to Ava, and next week the family explodes. There's a triple threat match between Tony D'Angelo, Stax, and Luca.
So if we didn't do anything, I need to get the hell away from him, and I need to step out of your shadow. It seems like you guys are both happy in these situations right now. Okay? The talk race, it's on. Hey, Sarah, I'm done.
So we'll see if maybe Rizzo sides with one of them.
Tony, don't let me catch you by yourself. Trying to do things by myself.
This is such wrestling melodrama, a wrestling telenovela. Yeah, that
And
absolutely
wrestling is a telenovela.
it is. That's true. You're right. It is. Oh, sounds like I like how they were talking like they didn't just notice Jasper Troy in the
He's
ring.
not standing directly in front of
Yeah,
them.
he didn't make an entrance. Tony D'Angelo does have a little Tony dance in him. Oh, now here comes Javon. This is probably why we're getting the D'Angelo family triple threat next week, because I think they might add Javon and Jasper Troy to Great American Bash this Saturday. Unless they get it next week. Oh, man, he caught him with that kick. Okay, Javon going to fly.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
Got the
Javon Evans said,
knee hurt.
Javon said, what rib tape? My goodness gracious. And now we have the culling brought to you by Progressive. Tatum has new friends. Unfortunately, they're bad guys. She's got
She have a doll.
well, because her character has a doll. But now the doll looks like Izzy. So the boys have a tag team title shot against Hank and Tank tonight.
Oh, Hank and Tank. I
Yeah.
like them.
Yeah, you like Hank and Tank. Oops, sorry.
They're gonna regret saying that we attacked them last week. If it was us, they would know. And I'll stop at nothing.
And Izzy, the blonde, is Braun Breaker's girlfriend. If you remember from that TikTok you showed me
Yeah.
about going out to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rickardy, I hope you had a great Tuesday, my friend. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Chat's never the same without you. Glad you're here.
Spears is right. Tonight, you two will win the tag team titles. On Saturday, I'll win them when it's
Yeah, a week from now, the culling could be NXT's version of Judgment Day. Multiple belts, and Tatum would be the only one without a title. So, okay. Nice little transition into the Culling's entrance here. So it's Izzy sitting here giggling on TV. She totally straight like had one of those moments right when the camera.
Something though.
Yeah,
Like,
she worked with it. New brawl environments. 2K commercial. Want to get you guys another tournament this week. Granted, it's gonna be a busy week for wrestling, so we'll see if I can fit it in. But I've got plenty of tournaments ready to roll, already booked out, so we can make that happen. Yeah, so absolutely, we're cheering for Hank and Tank. This is a Hank and Tank household.
Yeah, for sure.
Honk honk, and yeah, I would be upset. I gotta say this. I'm not the kind of man who will walk off the set if they don't win. At least not for this. I love Hank and Tank, right? No, I saw John Cena win the title at WrestleMania, and I had plenty to say about it, but I didn't storm off.
Right.
So I'll just rant for a while if that's what happens.
Yep.
But honestly, in the current NXT tag division, the only team rather that I think would make sense. No crashing out. Okay, Anthony. All right, thank you, friend. I'll try not to. That I could see beating Hank and Tank is probably Dark State, and they haven't. Dark State hasn't sort of made their aim towards the tag belts yet, so I would feel like that's probably the next direction we'd be going with that, rather than the Culling. The Culling are good bad guys you want to have around all the time, in case you need them to lose.
Right, but they're not gonna win.
Right. I hope not. I don't want to see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Sean Spears, the other guy, the taller guy, and the Culling.
What do you call like Dominic Mysterio's little group?
Judgment Day.
Yeah, so they're like NXT's Judgment Day,
right?
Like, so
yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly. Except they believe a little bit more in their sort of vision statement or mission statement of things right now.
Which is
be dark and moody.
Okay.
Pretty much, because at this point, Judgment Day is like a 90s TGIF show with opening credits. Like they're so unserious at this point.
Sure.
And the Culling is still at that phase where they're still trying to come off serious.
At the phase where like Rhea Ripley was still part of the.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah. And you know what? I don't mind Judgment Day being kind of silly now because it's a refresh that gives their faction more life.
Yeah.
And they don't get stale as a result. And honestly, I'm pretty impressed that Judgment Day is still interesting in a comedic way with Carlito being gone, because he was kind of the linchpin for their stuff to be funny. And so anyway, I loved Judgment Day's bits on Raw last night. George asks, what if Brooks Jensen gets involved and costs the Culling the match? That would be great. I mean, he's been missing for a little while. And I think he was attacked by the Culling, right? If I remember. So that could come back to cost them.
So they can't be tough without Rhea Ripley, but they can be funny without Carlita. That's what we learned.
Yeah, I think that's what we've established. I think Damian Priest helped them be tough a little bit too. Yeah, but without the Terror Twins.
Right.
The Terror Twins made them tough.
Yeah.
Carlito made them funny. And R-Truth.
Yeah.
But Truth's still in the company now, thanks to all the fan outcry. Carlito did not get the same. Actually, did I tell you what Carlito tweeted when he told everybody that he got released? He's like, so I've been talking to my lawyer, and it looks like I've been stealing money from the company for the past 3 years, like joking about how he never did anything. I'm just standing in the background. Anyway, so his still
a good gig.
No, it's great work if you can get it.
Right.
Stand in the background and play PlayStation for 3 minutes every week.
Get a paycheck.
Yeah.
Period.
Get it.
I want that job.
Now you had to take that one spear from Braun Breaker though, where he turned into a torpedo, but
ribs heal.
It's fair. Okay, so Izzy did hit him with a chair. All right, I thought I remember that.
Where is this?
Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah, so all weekend this weekend they'll be in Atlanta. So Great American Bash and Saturday night's main event in Atlanta Saturday, and then Evolution in Atlanta on Sunday.
I should recognize my own home state.
Yeah,
Dang.
there's the gold capital there. All right, here comes Hank and Tank. Dressed like they just got out of Old Navy's post 4th of July clearance sale. Okay, no announcements. They're just
Okay.
coming in to throw hands. Okay. Tank with the double leg. All right, so we got Hank and Spears starting off.
Now, if you brought up that I said JBL looked like just somebody's dad, these
Yes.
guys just look like somebody's uncle.
Yeah. Hank and Tank are uncles at the 4th of July cookout.
Yeah, they're like the fun single uncle.
Yeah.
Who's just there for the good vibes. And
Yeah.
beer.
They've got the beer cooler, and they probably have the black market fireworks
Yeah,
that your parents are your
100%.
parents told you to steer clear of.
right.
Yeah. These guys might miss a finger or two.
Yeah.
More fingers than brain cells.
Rude.
Corey again bringing in quality commentary work every week. Justin, you got the Culling? Yes, Rickardy. Hold my beer. Watch this type, fellas. You know it, man. You know they are. Here comes Tank. Big shoulder block. I don't know this
silly.
Big E style gyrating.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Piggyback ride splash. They are absolutely working their tandem offense though. Gotta go for Hank and Tank in this match. I'll never pick against them. Well, at least not tonight. And so let's do this. Crowd firmly behind. Oh, that headbutt connected. Crowd firmly behind Hank and Tank, as they should be. Hong Kong means lots to Canadians. I don't know what that means, Rickardy, but I'm for it. Ivy Nile is also here. So everyone they've shown tonight, well, not everyone, but most of them we know have declared for the Battle Royal. I'm curious. Well, looking at the time, I guess the Battle Royal segment is going to be our main event segment tonight. So that's going to be something to look forward to this evening. George, the main event segment is likely going to be Ava having the summit for the Evolution Women's Battle Royal. Nico Vance throwing shots at Tank in the corner. Tank fighting back, though, with elbows. Tank holds onto the ropes. The rebound tags in Hank. And cutting the ring in half, as they used to say. Okay.
Oh.
Senton from Tank. And Tank's got some weight to him. Hank on the top just waiting.
Oh, no.
Jumps and misses a clothesline. He rolls out of the ring to protect himself. And here
That
comes
crazed walk.
stomping around, but the ladies of the Culling are distracting him. Oh, my gosh.
He tossed him like he was a kid.
A pounce from Nico Vance sends him over the announce table. And Hank is out.
He tossed him like he was a lightweight.
Yeah. It looked like a Keith Lee level, Keith Lee to Adam Cole style pounce there. Truckers combo to end vax mandates in Canada. Hong Kong was a motto. Oh, okay. Good to know. Thank you guys for educating me on that. Some AAA and knockouts tonight. Yeah, I am curious how broad the net they're going to cast for this Evolution Battle Royal is going to be. I thought, didn't they say it was going to be 20 women?
He's like shoving him back into the ring. What are the fans saying?
I'm trying to. You hate Booker?
I can't.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch that chant if anyone else caught it.
I mean, some commercials though.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's right. We're on commercial. Sorry. Usually I'm not used to the crowd being this lively during a commercial break. You heard 30 women, George. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, it's probably going to come down to 5 like main event women, I'm imagining. But you never know. I mean, because in the Royal Rumble this year, Roxanne Perez had not fully been called up to the main roster, and she was one of the final 4. The year before that, Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill were both brand new, and they were in the final 4 of the Royal Rumble as well. So they have gotten more friendly towards having new talent have a big showing in these battle royals. Come on, Antron. That's my elementary school friend as the ref in this match. Not even paying attention. He's still the best, though. Sorry for using your real name there, Dallas. All right, so anyway, that's the way I knew him. Yeah, Hank having a hard time in the ring. Sean Spears just kind of picking at him like a vulture. Oh, mocking the honk honk. How dare you, Sean? Take with a grain of salt, but you read Stephanie Vaquer is the favorite to win the Battle Royal. I mean, yeah, I think she would be a smart bet because she's wildly popular. She's one of the only talents who's
whole crowd stomping.
Yeah, there we go. Stephanie is wildly popular, and also she's one of the few top level talent right now who's not actively involved with a feud with somebody else. So winning the Battle Royal would be a good, I wouldn't call it a shortcut, but a fast pass to a title feud in France at the end of August. So yeah, something to consider. Could you imagine Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky or Stephanie Vaquer versus Rhea Ripley at Clash in Paris? I mean, that would be a marquee match for sure there, because whoever she would challenge is going to have to be whoever's champion after SummerSlam. So, and with her being on Raw, that's what I would imagine. Also, if Bianca Belair were to return, I would love to see her win, and maybe Naomi win the title at SummerSlam, cashing in. We got Bianca versus Naomi. Would be fun. But
okay, and they're back.
Coming back from commercial now, and Hank trying to get control again. Now, hits that top rope
when it left for a commercial, Hank was like knocked out of the ring, and then it came back, and he's like on the turnbuckle.
He hopped up on there pretty quick. Hank and Tank is hanging in there, George. They're definitely like in the old school tag team match sense, are kind of, the Culling's getting a lot of heat on them, and he's just trying to make hot tag. He makes it right now to Tank, and Tank and Spears are in the ring now. Tank is just dropping Spears at every turn, and big atomic drop. Sean not enjoying it. Oh, and a springboard shoulder block out of the corner from Tank. Tank with the suicide dive onto Nico. Tank is fired up. Catches a kick from Spears. Cartwheel. Oh, and eats a super kick anyway from Spears. A second one. Tags Nico. Nico going up top.
No.
Flying headbutt. Could that be it?
What?
Oh, save from Hank. Okay. The Great American Bash is going to be at Center Stage. Remember when we went to that Need to Breathe show? Mm-hmm. It's in that same venue.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
They used to record old wrestling shows there on TBS on Saturday nights in the early 90s too, every week. Tatum coming into to distract. Oh, come on, these ladies. Not like this. Not like this. 2 count only. Thank goodness. Heavy Machinery, yeah. Tucker and Otis before Otis went on his own. Yeah, they have a little taste of Heavy Machinery involved in them. When I first saw Hank and Tank, I thought of them as a hybrid of Heavy Machinery. Here comes Sol Ruka, here to throw hands with Izzy Dame. And Zaria's here to, she's going to neutralize Tatum, who we aren't sure doesn't know any better at this point.
She just like carried her out like a toddler.
Okay, Hank and Tank are fired up, and they're ready to do this.
They're taking off their shirts.
The shirts are off.
Serious business.
They are Rocky IV in this thing now. Oh, Irish whip right into a clothesline, and Tank trips over Nico's long legs. All right, here we go. Everybody's honking, and Spears takes the shot instead of Nico Vance.
Tank has like huge thighs like Randy Orton.
Yes, he does. 1, 2. Hank and Tank retain. Honk, honk. Oh, man.
He's very bloody.
Yeah, that headbutt from Tank drew some blood. But, yeah, Heavy Machinery mixed with Public Enemy from back in the day. That's who I kind of feel Hank and Tank have. So.
Okay, I saw what I came to see, so I'm going to go get a drink.
Okay, all right. Hank and Tank retain. And a big thank you to Mrs. Mark by Wrestling for joining us for the in-ring main event, the match main event tonight. Our tag team champions retain over the Culling. And, of course, you believe they would. But, you just never know with NXT what'll happen. Anything can happen in the WWE. So just a recap for Great American Bash. Sol Ruka defends the North American title against Izzy Dame. Obafemi, the ruler, the champion, defending against Yoshiki Inamura for the NXT championship as well. Great video package of support for Inamura tonight. And then Falls Count Anywhere match with Ricky Saints taking on the champion, Ethan Page. Contract signing for the TNA Slammiversary World Title match. Contract signing between Trick Williams, Mike Santana, and Joe Hendry as well at the Great American Bash. And now they just announced Jasper Troy versus Javon Evans as well for the Great American Bash. So, guys, we're getting a stacked card. I mean, I think these matches are really going to deliver. And then we've got, again, tag team Jordan Grace and the debuting Blake Monroe taking on Fallon Henley and JC Jane. NXT Women's Champion JC Jane. A precursor to Jordan Grace versus JC Jane. And we see Ava walking backstage, likely making her way to the ringside area for the Evolution Summit, where I'm sure we'll be seeing the Battle Royal competitors. Okay, Rickardy asked, what's my opinion of the booking of Ricky Starks? That's a good question. Here's the thing is that, there's a lot of rhetoric around AEW X talent being signed, and there's criticism of maybe how they were handled before versus how they're handled now. You look at like Penta and Phoenix and, what's Jade Cargill and now Ricky Saints and also Blake Monroe, former Mariah May. And, there's just varying degrees of creative acceleration in their pushes and their booking. But I'm going to say this about Ricky Saints. I think Ricky's booking has been solid since he came. At first, it took me a minute to buy. Oh, yeah, Andrade, too. I forgot about Andrade. Andrade and Phoenix tagging together right now, which they are putting on some excellent in-ring work together. And that was chemistry I wasn't looking for on SmackDown, but they're doing really great work, and I hope creative is noticing that as well. Now, all that to say that I think it took me a minute to buy into Ricky's hype when he got there. Like, it was exciting to see him show up, knowing the circumstances around how he just wasn't being used in AEW and also wasn't being let go. So just there was a lot of hype around his arrival, and maybe even a little too much. But I think NXT is the right place for him right now. Ethan Page. I also didn't mention Ethan Page being one of these guys too. And so there has been a little bit of reruns with Ricky Saints booking and who he's feuding with. They seem to have this weird fixation on booking him against other ex-AEW talent, Lexis King, a former ex-AEW talent as well. And so I am interested to see him move on to some feuds that are different from guys that might have with an AEW. Cute for a minute. One, because they might already have chemistry together in the ring. But also, you want to see him mix it up with others. And so I don't think his booking's been bad. I think it's been fine. I think that another ex-AEW talent, Sean Spears, who was in NXT before, then went to AEW, then came back. But I don't think that Ricky Saints and Wes Lee, yeah, that would be a great feud. I would really love that. I think that could match up well. If we could break Wes Lee off from High Ryze, I think, and just have them in a one-on-one feud, I think it would be a lot of fun. Yeah, I think Ricky I think it would be a good thing for him to stay in NXT for a while. Like, he's already been North American champion, and he might be again come Saturday. But I would love for him to have a run as NXT champion. But yeah, I'm not all that interested in him getting fast passed into the main roster. So yeah. 10 chairman. Yeah, exactly. Dude has had his gimmicks. I'm not really counting Cody and CM Punk, to be honest, because both of those guys were more famous in WWE. And Paige, we haven't seen her back yet. Maybe she'll show up Sunday, though, even if she doesn't wrestle. It'd be great for her to make an appearance if they're going to be dusting off any legends from back in the day. All right, Chase U. Kale's blood pressure is too high. Oh, this is earlier tonight. Just a comedy segment. Kale Dixon is having like a stage fright panic attack here with Chase U. All right. Well, weird segment, but also a good way to get Chase U on TV without having a match for them. So they still keep them on screen. All right. Ava is here in the middle of the ring with her Evolution podium. Let's hear what she has to say. She's referencing the original Evolution. Ava was in high school during the first Evolution. Boy, I feel old.
And now she's a women's world champion. Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch put on an undeniable last women's standing match. And history made her in her own right. Nikki Bella was in the main event. And all of those women.
Crickets for Nikki Bella. Crowd cheered for Io Sky.
First female GM in NXT history. I'm so proud that NXT is going to be all over Evolution. Sorry and Soul Ruka, opportunity to become the women's tag champions. Jordan Grace
Okay.
will take on JC Kane for her NXT
Putting over the so far announced NXT talent.
and 6 women from NXT
6 women from NXT will be in the Battle Royal. 6 women.
to move on to the Clash in Paris for a title opportunity.
All right. So I imagine she's going to announce the 6 women. All right, here we go. Jada Parker. Big pop for Jada. Lola Vice. Kalani Jordan. Lash Legend. Izzy Dame. Tatum Paxley. Those are 6 great competitors for the Battle Royal.
In the world.
Now she gets interrupted. Who's here to interrupt her? Because it's Def Rebel and I can't recognize any theme music. It's Fatal Influence. We had to hear from JC Jane. Even Ava's tired of Fatal Influence.
My match and my women's championship are going to be the highlights of Evolution. In fact, you can't even talk about the women's battle royal and when you stand there and talk about the women's division, you're really talking about JC Jane.
Oh, JC Jane she's actually not a bad promo, but I hate hearing her talk though. Yes. Hey, well, Makeover Jordan Grace is here to interrupt JC Jane.
She looks lovely.
Yes. Blake Monroe did a great job.
Evolution is a groundbreaking event, but you don't make it special. It's about the women who paved the way for us.
Please don't put over Nikki Bella, Jordan.
I'm going to be the one steering the
I know Jasmine Nix has just been present for the past several weeks. Okay, here comes the Lash Legend screaming about something. All right, here's more wrestling math. Here comes a big fight surrounding a battle royal, and people are about to start getting thrown out of the ring. We probably need 2 or 3 more people to show up, though. I think she is paired with Trick Williams as well. Stephanie Vaquera's here. Stephanie is back. She's back home to NXT. Crowd is happy to see her. And she's wearing merch. Good for her. Stephanie's got louder chants than any of these women.
JC, you are the NXT champion now. I respect that. You win me. But on Sunday, Jordan is getting the victory.
Stephanie just came in to say Jordan's going to win.
To become the new champion.
Oh, now here comes Natalia. So all these ladies we saw entering all night long are here comes Maxine and Natalia. Yeah, I'm sure. Cool story, Natalia. Cool story, Maxine. I'm not interested in whatever they have to say.
The new WWE Women's Champion. Maxine, you are so sweet, but the Dungeon Dolls, we did not come to play. We came to win. And Evolution, we're going to be the last.
All right, do we have it? And we know Ivy Nile is still there somewhere. And anyone else still here? Oh, do we have people coming in? There's Ivy Nile coming from ringside. There's Zelina. There's Lola. There's Jada. Julia's here too. All these other women that I just said aren't getting entrances though. They're just showing up out of the crowd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, about half the field is out here. So there's about 12 women out here that are in the Battle Royal. So there's about 8 that we don't know who will be there. Okay, and here it comes. Wrestling math. A Battle Royal fight. And Ava just standing there screaming to stop. Ava, get out the ring, lady. You're going to catch hands. Now referees coming in to try to break things up. There's Izzy and Tatum standing in the back just watching. And Booker T just, I'm loving this, man. Let them fight. Tatum's chanting, let them fight from the aisleway. Tatum and Izzy just standing in the aisleway, just watching it all go down. Okay, well, this is how we're going off the air with this brawl in the ring. So there you have it. There's NXT, and we've got a lot of ladies in this Battle Royal on Sunday. So drop your rating in the chat for tonight's event and the stream if you feel like it. Solid show tonight, I think, and good match. Tag team match was good, and also I believe we're gonna have a lot to look forward to this weekend that we're building to. Added a couple of matches to the show. We finally confirmed, that a North American title match is going to be a Falls Count Anywhere match. We're also getting Javon Evans, and Jasper Troy. I thought the highlight package from Pro Wrestling Noah supporting Inamura was a good contender for Marked Moment of the Night. So, so there's lots of good things to look forward to this weekend. Just as a reminder, Thursday, I'll be giving predictions for all 3 main shows this weekend. Friday, schedule permitting, I'll go live for SmackDown as well. Saturday and Sunday, we'll be live for all shows. So grab a snack, come watch some wrestling with me this weekend, and we will enjoy the presentation together. All right, let's make our way through here. Some of the ratings. George Lewis says 8 point. He given the show an 8.5. Shamanica, thank you for being here, Shamanica. 8 out of 10. And Justin Allen Crane says 10 out of 10. Miss Parker's. Anthony 8 out of 10. George giving the stream a solid 10. Thank you so much, sir. And we do our best here. And let's see. I hope you have a great week too, Justin. I will see you for the prediction show on Thursday for sure. Thank you guys so much for being with us tonight. And I will see you guys soon. I'm gonna ride. You know what? I'm gonna ride the bandwagon with the rest of you guys. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 as well. I think it was a good show, good time, a good setup for the weekend to come. And I think we're gonna have a lot of good wrestling to talk about and watch together after the weekend is over. All right, you guys take care of yourselves, and I will see you again very soon. And hey, don't forget to believe, because believing makes wrestling